Right, I think we're all live here now, guys. So the objective of this video, in fact, first off, I'd like to welcome Bob of All Trades, the king
Hello,
and
hello.
the king and champion of laptops. There, thanks for joining us. So the object of this stream is because both Bob and I have been battling hard on finding ways to, make it more efficient for us to put out more videos, because we both realised that you've got to try and put out videos more and more often to get the algorithm going. And, Bob, as he said in his his Mag 15, he spent 80 hours on that, and each review takes me 30 hours, so it's very hard to do, isn't it, Bob?
Oh, yeah. That was very stressful for the return, on investment.
Yeah, yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it? So, we've got, hello, Ahmed says hello. How you doing? So we're getting some people joining us. So, I actually put a community tab poll up to see what, well, not a poll, but some questions, and people put some extremely good answers of suggestions on how to improve things, because it does take us a long time. We've got, both Bob and I got a house, we've got a family, we work full time, and we don't want to sacrifice the quality of the content that we put out, do we? We still want to do in-depth reviews, but we can't spend every day doing it all.
Right.
Yeah, so we got Bob as a guest. So first off, actually, I put Jared top here because Jared pounds out videos, every day or every alternate day. And I do feel that you need to have videos every alternate day. And he agreed that comparison videos do the best. So that's certainly something I want to do more. Comparing, of course, laptops, but also comparing, graphics performance between different GPUs and CPUs. I think that's quite useful. So I do want to do that. And of course, he mentions break up the content into smaller chunks. So of course he does his thermal testing. He does plays what's it like 20 different games or whatever, that type of thing. So I do like the idea of that. And what's your thought process, Bob?
That's not going to work for me, man. I just got to get it all done in one shebang. So that's I just don't like to view personally. I don't like to view content that's broken up like that. I just want it all in one shot. That's just I try to create videos that I want to see myself. So I kind of stand aside and let you guys do that on your own.
Right. I mean, of course, as we said, YouTube likes you to put out a video every alternate day, say. So therefore, you need content. So unless you've got a laptop to review every alternate day, it's difficult to do. You need filler content, and that's what I use my live game streaming to do.
Sure.
And actually, let's see what I've got here. I did show. Oops, that's my thumbnail. So, whatever it's channel stats. I did show this this slide here. Get it a bit bigger there. Where I worked out how many hours it took me to do a video. And how, and then put that into return of how many views I get per man hour worked, and reviews the same way, live game streaming, and these are the results I got. And certainly my unboxings seem to do pretty well. I think it's because people they see that first and they go, yeah, I like that laptop, or I don't, and then some of them that may come back for the review, but the review takes a good two to three times as long for me to do, and sometimes I duplicate things in there. For example, the ports, the screen, a lot of things I do again, so it's a bit pointless, really. So my plan is to keep the unboxings the same, perhaps show a little bit more gameplay type of thing, and then in the review concentrate more in depth on the thermals, benchmark results, and tweaking, that type of thing. That's my thought process, and have two solid videos out of it. So that was my process there.
Nice. Hold that thought, man. My doorbell's about to ring, and my screen, not that people need to see what I'm doing, but it's froze up for some reason. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that, but...
Okay. Yeah, that's strange.
I've made dumber faces when... this really isn't a big deal, but anyway, I'll be right back.
All right. So... I also, let's have a look at that. The screen fills up nicely. This is a full transparency here on how my channel goes. I went back quite some way, a good good 10, 15 videos really. So I'm getting. Let's have a look. The CPU comparisons is in light blue here, and that's I was getting 40. I haven't done as many of those videos. I only did like 3, but they did well. I was getting 45,000 views per video on average there. So to me, that's like a no-brainer. They don't take that long to do. So yeah, definitely do those. This blue box, this is of course my first look. Unboxing videos. Again, it doesn't take too long. I mean, I'm just unboxing the NV360 from HP. And that might take 2 or 3 days. It's not too bad. That's 35,000 views there. Whilst the reviews about 26,000. So the reviews are very valuable to me, but they just take so much time. So I definitely needed to sort that out. Now, of course, the same thing applies to the subscribers, of course. You know, so the light screen here. Yeah, that's 173 subscribers per video, which is great. Whilst the comparisons and the reviews are about the same. You know, live streaming, that shows 37. That's only because the Helios 300 was like the god of all laptops, and everybody wanted to watch it, no matter what you did. But normally that's way down there. So that's to give you an idea. You know, in case you're starting your own tech channel, and you may want to decide, you know, what type of videos do I want to put out. This might help you, you know, for sure. And another metric, because of course YouTube in that algorithm wants watch time. You know, we hear about it all the time. You know, they've got a strange algorithm going on where it seems to be automatically about 30%. No matter what you do, you may put out a video that's 5 minutes long. People only watch it for like, you know, 1.5 minutes. It's strange. It really is. I do get some which go up to in the 40s, but on average, this is what you typically see. And of course, the live game streaming, even though I shorten that down to perhaps even 15, 20 minutes, you know, people are jumping out after 11%. So it's wasting your time. So that's that there in a nutshell. So let's see who we got on board in terms of the comments. Do you have any info on 10th gen high performance? It's coming soon. No, I don't have any information on that. I do have the a Comet Lake CPU in the new HP 360 15T, and I've done some testing, and that. Of course, I'm going to put that first look video up probably, hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to edit it. But I was quite disappointed. It seems to hold a clock in Ada 64 at 2200 megahertz, and in gaming, I mean, it's got an MX250 in it, and gaming it is holding 800 to 1000 megahertz. You know, I tried playing Overwatch on low settings, 720p, getting around about 40 FPS, but it was tough. You know, it's a bit lag, so I need to tweak that. So you know, I had the same situation before with you know, these 15-watt parts. I felt that the i7s were pointless. I think the only CPU I see useful in that Comet Lake one is the new 6-core one. I mean, that's the only one I can see of being a benefit. Cinebench R20, I got like 1100 points, which is pretty low. Now, if you're looking at like, I think even the 3750H from AMD got me like 1600 points. And the i5 9300H got around about 1600 points. So it's way behind there, so I certainly need to tweak it. And that laptop only came with a 53 watt hour battery, so I don't know if it's going to be great for battery life. So go back to some of the other suggestions. Be good to be able to fix Bob's face, but he's gone anyhow. But anyway, so Alan mentioned he prefers short and straightforward videos, averaging about 8 minutes or less. I do think that's quite a good idea. Now, the only thing I'm thinking about this is that, you know, YouTube, in terms of the ads and the money that we'd make. Oh, here, Bob, you back?
Yeah. How did you know?
Well, I can see you, but you can't see this. How do I fix you on here? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Not webcam, it's cam link, isn't it? I've got your back.
Nice. All right.
You know, it's a cam link thing. I don't know who. I mean, Elgato does good stuff, but sometimes it just freezes. So you got to go into the settings.
Curse that cam link.
Click it again, and you're okay. Cam link, fucking cam link. So I was just saying. Well, I forgot what I was saying, but oh yes, I was saying here about Alan mentioned do short, straightforward videos about 8 minutes, and that's where your angle you're coming from, isn't it?
Oh yeah. You get it all done in one shot. I want to make less work for myself from an answering question standpoint. So if I have a video that's not directly related to the review, then I'm being asked, well, does this and this work for that? And I get real tired of saying, please watch the review. Like, I can't babysit it on that level, right? Because if you have 100,000 subscribers, you're going to get 300 questions like that a day. You're going to go insane. That's not efficient as a content creator. So for me, to consolidate it to one, you have no excuse but to find the answer within that same video because there's no alternatives. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Now, I was just saying that... You know, if you put a video out that's 10 minutes or longer, you can put more than one advert in. Like, for example, one in the middle. And as a content producer, that certainly has helped. Helped me.
That's appealing, sure.
You know, it's probably made my income go from like $400 a month to like $600, something like that. You know,
right?
Just by putting an advert in the middle. That's an easy thing to do, rather than having to put 50% more videos out, which was more stress on just putting one advert. So I like that 10-minute mark if I can, and perhaps not all the time, but you know, have some of them in there. Let's have a look. The other, you had some good ones here. Yeah, the best solution is pillar content. Again, separate videos for a different audience. That's going back to what Jared said, but I think he was saying, you know, you did your repasting videos, Bob, and screen replacements, but they didn't do that great, though, did they?
Well, no, and screen replacements are pretty much irrelevant now because everything has a 144 hertz panel in it. So that's a dying content.
Yeah, it's tough, but there might be some things in there. I know there's only so many ways you can tweak a laptop, but
that's why I made those tutorials.
Yeah. All right, so Creature Core had some good comments. He does like the unboxing ones; they're quite fun, and there's actually quite a lot of people did say do live streams the unboxings, like Matthew Moniz, and I like the idea of it, but I also don't like the idea of it, and I'll tell you why. I don't just take the stuff out of the box and turn it on, and that's it. I'd like to do more tests on it as well, which of course I could do live, I guess, you know.
There's another thing I want to add to that. Matthew makes a lot of mistakes when he does that, and he has another physical person there helping him. Okay?
He does.
It would literally just be Steven by himself or me by myself, and our content is way more in depth than they will ever be. That's just not a good solution for either one of us. It would be an absolute train wreck, perhaps an hysterical one, but it just it wouldn't be very good for us to make content like that, just from our personality standpoint and the lack of help.
Yeah, but what frightens me is, as I've showed already, my unboxings are my best ones, so if I screw them up, then
your unboxings and first looks have more detail than most laptop tech reviewers. I've told you that. You almost should stick with it. They're great. I
don't really want to change something that's working okay. I'd rather change the review section, which takes more time. Let's have a look. Jan Scars put mostly GPU and gaming is compared, but same GPU now predominantly used for machine learning. So request you to make a video on related topic. So machine learning using the new GPUs.
Is that really stuff that people are talking about a lot? I mean,
I don't know, we've got a request there. I mean, certainly something. I have actually had a few comments on that. I'll have to do some research on, you know, what applications perhaps. In fact, going on to that subject, I've always wanted to try a workstation laptop. See how that pans out.
Nice.
Now, Creature Core also said he did like the way how you had everything in one shot on one screen. the format you had. And I suppose the same applies if I'm doing benchmarks. Is it best to have all that on one screen like people see, rather than just a separate chart for each game? That might make it quicker. I mean, I know that's what Dave2D and a lot of other people do, so it seems to work well for them. So Alan says, hi Stephen, you could make reviews or comparisons like desktop CPU or even peripherals. Now peripherals, we've all tried peripherals, haven't we? I've done monitors, I've done keyboards, I've done microphones, and they've all sucked.
Right.
They've all sucked. You know.
Same here.
So I think, well, what peripheral should we do? Now, I would like to throw this out there, and I've mentioned this to you, Bob, before, that... Well, in fact, we talked about this the other day. I think the big difference between ourselves and Dave2D, for instance, he's entertaining. So people perhaps are not wanting to buy a laptop. They'll watch his channel because it's, it's short. Then they find it's very good. It's very well edited and it's entertaining. Now, ours is perhaps not as entertaining, I guess. It's a bit more of a...
They're not as pretty to look at.
Yeah, it's a bit more work.
Presentation.
A bit more work to get through. So I was thinking of doing challenge videos. I mean, my kids watch Mr. Beast, all these other guys doing challenge videos, and they're all kicking ass, aren't they? They all do really good. I'm not saying, I got to climb Mount Everest and see if a laptop works up there, but basically, perhaps if I could do some challenge videos and do giveaways. And I was been toying with that idea, and I thought, I can't afford to give away laptops, but if I do more peripherals, I can give those away. I'm not talking about give away a mouse, but if I do a monitor. Now, Ben Q did come to me and ask if I wanted to review another monitor, and initially I was going to say, nah. But it's a $500 27-inch IPS, the QHD 144 hertz monitor. Retails are like $600. That'd be a good giveaway, wouldn't it, for a challenge?
That's nice.
Yeah, something like that. So that's food for thought. I've also got a 7-inch Windows PC. That's a tablet. It's like, it's 360, 7-inch Windows 10. It's going to go on Indiegogo. That'd be a good giveaway as well. That's something new, yeah. So I'm thinking about it, but I'll have to be subscribers, of course. I'm thinking about running through an obstacle course and playing some racing games, and whoever comes back first wins, that type of thing. Or we could throw some ideas out there, but just to try and make it more entertaining. All right. So Jeff Stewart said, spend more time with whatever should make that laptop stand out from the others, and how it directly compares to its competitors that are similarly priced. I like the idea of that, and what I ideally would like is, and it's not always practical, is to have the two laptops side by side, because we have to return these review laptops, or if you bought them, which we often have to do, you want to sell them to get your money back, don't you, Bob?
Oh yeah, quickly.
Yeah, so you don't often always have a collection of laptops to do that with directly, and I know Bob has reservations about doing benchmarks because of the drivers and changing all the time. But
now, if I got to keep all of these laptops, that would be a different story.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because then you can compare the screen side by side. I guess that's another thing, isn't it? It's hard to compare what a screen looks like when you've got two separate videos. The lighting conditions are different. It's sometimes a little bit hard. But yeah, certainly I take the point. I would like to try. I do more of those. Again, more peripheral recommendations. If you guys can fire out what you want us to do in terms of peripherals, let me know. If it's like a golden peripheral we should do. I mean, All of Tech used to do mice, didn't they? He did some good mice reviews. Perhaps that's something. If they're popular, I mean, mice are cheap. Okay. Sean says, I really like the parts of your reviews where you actually handle the product, and that B-roll is not important. Now, I spent a lot of time doing B-roll, or trying to, in my reviews. I'm not talking about taking a photograph or a still video and then just panning it. I got a dolly which I'd set up on two different tables, different heights, to do that rotation round.
Yep, I'm looking at mine right now.
Yeah,
I got all that stuff.
You got all that crap. Yeah, exactly. And it takes time to set up and do, and make sure the light's right, make sure there's something colourful on the screen, and it got me nowhere. Nowhere. So I like that comment that, perhaps our strengths are just the hands-on physical aspects of the laptop. So perhaps we should just stick with that. Have we got any many comments coming into the feed?
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a pretty good job of keeping up on everything. Yeah. Nothing too crazy.
All right, so let's have a look. Jonathan. Now, Jonathan, he puts in some good comments, doesn't he? I think the issue is that tons of people like watching Linus or Dave for entertainment. Now, we discussed that, and that is very true. So we do need to make it a little bit more entertaining. And if you've got any ideas on that, perhaps you've got to wear a hat or a disguise, a false beard. We could do that. Plus, we should dress in, Halloween themes or Christmas themes to make it a bit more fun. But anyway, if you've got some ideas. I think I do like the idea of live streaming, like we're doing here, because it's no editing. It just goes on and it's done. So I do like that.
The hardest part's setting up.
It is, yeah. Now, Praveen goes, don't make the video too small. So he doesn't think that the video should be too short because, you want to be able to show more in-depth stuff. I've had a few people liking my live stream gaming. Perhaps I should try that on YouTube and see if that helps. But on Twitch, I would only get like 2 or 3 people watching, which I didn't mind. I mean, it's fine, But I did think perhaps whilst I'm doing my testing, I'm doing, of course, I record the gameplay using the capture card. Perhaps I could make a montage of, some funny moments, which are usually quite a lot because I die a lot, and me falling off a cliff. Put that together, also commenting about the thermals and things like that. I thought I might give that a go and see how that works. And of course, he says compare laptops in the same price range. Now, Bob, do you have any, advice to anybody starting their own tech channel?
Who's asking? Is that an actual question, or are you asking for conversation?
Just for conversation, because I think other people watching this video may be starting a channel, and I want to see what have you learned over the past 3 years.
Always make content that you want to see.
Right.
The second you sidestep that, man, you lose that genuine, that wholesome bit that may attract the viewer to begin with. So make content that you want to see. It's really the only reason why I started doing this, because I was watching big channels out there and I'm like, well, what about this? What about that? And you would go back and look at their videos 6 months later and it was nothing but complaints and complaints and complaints. Mine's running hot. Mine's doing this. Mine's doing that. I was like, okay, I can fix that. And as soon as I started making videos, the people like you and Jared started popping up in my recommended feed, and that's how I found you. But that is, my best advice right there is to make the stuff that you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also you've got to try and put out stuff which everybody else wants to see. I mean, Jared, I think one of Jared's big successes, and I asked him this, was he asks people what they want to see, and he tries his best to accommodate. Because at the end of the day, you've got to make a video for the audience. But at the same time, it's got to be something that you enjoy doing. Otherwise, it comes through as being, not genuine. That's probably my main thing. The focus of this video certainly was how do we make better use of our time. I mean, the way I typically do my reviews, for instance, I have a lot of different footage, and Bob will be the same. You take a photograph or a video of a laptop here, outside, do this and that, and you may end up with 20 or 30 different video files, and then of course you've got to name them, so where they all are. Then you've got then I write Bob does this a bit differently, but I write a script, as does Jared. I write mine on my phone, and I use a teleprompter by Parrot, and that's so I'm reading a script, and first off you've got to make it look as if you're not like a robot, so you're doing all that, and then writing the script takes me a whole day. That's like 8 hours. Doing my charts takes me a whole afternoon. So, I've got to try and streamline all that down. And if I can do my reviews down to like 5 or 6 minutes, that whole day for a script's now half a day. That's my idea, yeah. I mean, you have like a template, don't you, Bob, you say?
I just revised it 100% yesterday.
Okay, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, the new review style that I recently published that I'm going to proceed with is it granted me the ability to put a lot of content on the screen with a very small, frame of, let's say 6 minutes is now down to like 1 minute, for example. So my actual, what I want to say here, hybrid script has changed dramatically. And I should be able to get a laptop and have it completely reviewed in a third of the time as a result. So, and I never read from a script. I literally have no script. I just have, let's call it fill in the blank. And that is what works, for me. And that's what I've been doing. That Alienware 13 laptop that I bought from you, I trial and error a little bit of the hybrid review with that. And moving forward, I'm going to go with this route. So I'm going to try to get all my videos to like that 6 to 8 minute mark.
Yeah. So you're very good at talking without stuttering or erring, and certainly when I started my channel, I started just winging it. Just sit there, and then I decided I'll have bullet points actually stuck to the wall, but you can see my eye looking up to catch those bullet points. So then I went to the script route, and it's not a time saver. I mean, it makes it look nicer, I think, and more streamlined for if you do and ah quite a bit. But in the end, it's a time suck for sure. So I like your method. Seems to work well.
It works well for me, but when I was in high school, the class was nominating me to be, let's say, what I was speaking of, what do they call those people, like newscasters, meteorologists, things like that. So talking in front of a camera and just going at it was something that came natural, although very uncomfortable. I'm not that proud anymore. I'm much older than I was in high school, so.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I actually do enjoy that challenge. Now, don't get me wrong. I was asked by my best friend, he's like, Bob, you need to make a bloopers reel of all of your mishaps and mistakes. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys would get a kick out of that. That would be a lot of fun. A lot of bleeping out, if you know what I mean.
Well, I've actually got a few of those. I mean, most of mine, to be honest. I'm in a basement.
Yep.
As you are. And the kids are screaming. I had one comment, guy, saying, wow, all that noise was terrible. I can't control it. I mean, I've got knocks at the door, the dog barks its head off, kids run around, the TV's blasting. It's very hard, isn't it? And you know what? I had a stupid cricket in my basement yesterday. Fucking cricket, right? And it's chirping away. I was going, you bastard! So I found it eventually. But little stuff like that.
Yeah. I can't record commentary if my air conditioning or heater's on. I can't say anything.
Yeah.
And if it's really hot or really cold, I have a small window of opportunity to say what I need to say. Because my AC, my HVAC is 10 feet right there through a door.
It's not easy. Yeah. Nope. It's not easy. Now, going back to the subject of doing a lot of videos, breaking them up, I think Tally-Ho Tech does a very good job of that. As an example, he does like a content creation. He does a gaming one, but he's growing at the same rate as us. So I don't necessarily think that is the way to do it. But I think his videos are fantastic. So I don't really know what the true answer is. I can only say I think we've just got to put more content out there, and the only way to do that is to do it more efficient and keep it probably a bit shorter. Yeah. All right. Someone's offering to do a website. Well, I've got a website, Bob, OwnerDisown website, and I had my initial idea was to have it like Mobile Tech Review, because she was always like my mentor. She was the reason why I started my channel, really. And I wanted to be able to do written reviews as well as my video reviews. And I started off with the HTC Vive, and I did a lengthy review on that. It took me ages to write up and put it up, photographs and crap like that. And you get like, I did my video, you get like, 100 views. I think, what's the point of that?
Right.
And that took me hours and hours. So you need a team of people behind it. And I don't know, does having a website, will that help us, really? Will it drive more traffic to us? It may well do. Is that something you've given thought to, Bob?
if I did a website, it would be a forum-based website, and I almost got the nerve to create one when I was doing the Mag 15 review, because there was some shenanigans going on with the websites that I was posting my content on, and I almost bailed and just went and did my own thing. But it's holding together right now, so we'll just leave that be. But
yeah,
I could see myself going that route, perhaps. The key is this would have to be much larger than it is and sustain my wife, my kids, myself, before I could even consider because there's no wiggle room for me. I have no more time.
No, this is it. I mean, I've got a Discord server, which I like, and I do keep meaning to put that into the descriptions. There's quite a few people on there. I don't have time really to go on there, to be honest, and I respond to questions I get, but just a general chit-chat, I don't have the time particularly, because another thing which people don't really talk about here is answering questions on YouTube. I mean, I take my hat off to Jared. He's got, 112,000 subscribers, and he answers most people. Mm-hmm. And we try and answer most people, but we've got less subscribers. And I remember one time, it took me 5 hours one Saturday just doing that. 5 hours. Yeah. So I think it is important. My wife goes mad when I answer questions. She says, "Can you not do that later?" I said, when I'm asleep.
Same here.
Yeah. But these big channels don't do it, do they? You know, I always mention names, but they don't do it. I've asked questions and no one ever comes back to you. Or very rarely. So it doesn't affect them. All right, I think do G-Sync laptops work as desktop level? I really want to buy the Zephyrs, which it works just the same. I mean, I've hooked up my laptop here to the monitor. It also works the same. It's fine. You don't see it. That's your comments, Bob?
I don't think most people would notice. Now, there's no actual physical module inside of the laptops. It works just like FreeSync does, and which has been funny. I've been talking about this for years off and on. The whole G-Sync module thing, what a joke. But from a technical standpoint, G-Sync with a module built into the monitor is factually better than G-Sync without it. But would any of you ever be able to notice? No. Including me? No. Steven? No.
No, definitely
even
not
the
me.
pro gamers like Shroud, all those guys, I don't know if he's a pro gamer, but some of these guys are just absolutely amazing. Most of them are probably not able to tell. It's like, oh, I'm not going to buy this laptop because it's got a 7 millisecond response time. Bitch, you can't tell. Don't even tell me you can tell. You can't tell. Between 7 and 3, Nobody's that good. Nobody. And I used to be able to get really close to the FPS I was running without monitoring it. So
you can't. I tell you, I mean, I've had some comments on my live streaming say that I suck at gaming and I'm terrible, which, and I'd say, well, I'm playing with a camera in front of me, the laptop's right out of here, I'm like this.
Yeah.
I can only sit.
Tripod sitting up here, and you're like doing this, trying to play.
I remember once I was playing and the screen was about this big. I'm not saying I'm good at gaming. I mean, I generally do suck, but I have bought a Dell monitor. Hey, I'm going to review this. I bought this Dell 27-inch TN panel, 1 millisecond response time, 144 hertz, $150. And I was been playing Battlefield 5 on it the past couple of nights. And although I still suck, I don't suck as much. And it's much more enjoyable to play. I mean, it's fantastic. I just wanted to mention that.
You can see things better, can't you?
I could, yeah. Because my other monitor, he has a 38-inch ultra-wide, and that's too big. I'm like this. Oh, it's just too much in your face. So I'm going to review this Trevor's 27-inch one. And I'll either give this one away or that BenQ one if they send me it. So, right, well, I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to go on forever, and I think we've got some good suggestions on my community tab. If you have any more questions or suggestions more on how we can improve our efficiency and what you guys would like to see, I'd like to find out what you think peripherals we should do. That's key, because if I'm doing more challenge videos and things for entertainment, I want to be able to give stuff away. I personally, the way I'm looking for doing my videos is I'll keep my unboxings the same with a little bit more detail. on the gaming side perhaps, or whatever the laptop is, and on the main review I'll just skirt over some of the the fluff, like pictures of what the laptop's like. I'll go over the specs, and then I'll go into the nitty gritty of the thermals, the benchmarks, and that's and tweaks on how to improve performance, and try and keep that down to like 5 to 8 minutes type of thing. That's my idea. I might try live streaming on YouTube for gaming, or I might do a montage thing. So that's my strategy going forward. We'll see how it pans out. But certainly, my subscriber per day is like, it's going down really, and certainly if you find the same. If you went through a period, Bob, where you didn't put a video out for 3 weeks because you're working on the Mag 15.
That's right.
And your subscribers went,
they tanked.
Didn't it? Because you're not putting content out there, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to put more content out. So let's work together and get it done.
There really hasn't been any deals or anything either. In the next month, before we get to Black Friday, you'll see a lot more content. A couple laptops come out for sale. I'll let everybody know. Great.
Yeah. We'll do some deal stuff, yeah.
Teardowns, those are getting few and far between. Can't tear down a review unit. I have a strict request not to tear down the Mag 15 for you guys for liability reasons. So I can't show you that, even though it's the easiest teardown on the planet. Yeah. And I can't afford to buy a laptop till probably April of next year. So teardowns that used to fill in those cracks for me won't be here for 6 months.
Yeah. So you got to think of what filler videos are you going to do, Bob?
It's either deals videos or reviews. There's really nothing else for me to populate the channel with.
Yeah. You'll have to get more laptops coming in, and you're not going to go to CES.
No, I signed up for it because I was able to register for free, as I'm sure you were as well.
I did, yeah.
But I thought Computex was a better environment, I think, for what it was that you and I do. But we'll see. I mean, that's quite a ways from now. And we spent a lot of money, you and I, last year going to CES for what? I mean, it's not like we could even get in to see Lenovo, Asus. Half of the manufacturers, we didn't know where they were, and the ones that we did know, they wouldn't let us in. What's the point?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I need to set up any of those meetings. That was a joke, wasn't it, before? But Lenovo wouldn't let us in or anything like that. Just I pretended to be waiter staff. Let's have a look. Last few questions. Of course, someone says shorter videos gets more views. I don't know if that's strictly true. I've done shorter videos, and they haven't got many more views, and they still only get 30% watch time. Jared does some long videos. He does 20-minute videos, and they still get lots of views. So I don't really think that's totally true. I mean, there might be some truth to it, but I don't think it's a be-all and end-all. What I often believe is missing from many review videos in general, not from your channels in particular, is a direct comparison with other performance laptops, not just a one-to-one comparison. Like we said, if drivers are different from when you've tested it, I've been fortunate the past few videos. I've got the Mech 17. I was able to do a direct comparison against the Omen 17. So if you've got two laptops next to each other, you can update the drivers and do a fair benchmark test. But if you don't, then you can't always replicate the results. But we'll try. I'm going to try and do more of those if I can, for sure, if I can.
Here's another thing, too. A lot of these manufacturers really don't want you doing that, because one of them is going to have the weaker system, right? I have an Aero 15 here and a Mag 15 here, and you're not going to see a comparison with it on the channel. If you want to see the winner of each category, I posted that with a link in the description below within the Mag review. So that's been public for almost a month. So it's not like that information isn't out there, but each one of these manufacturers with the Mag and the Gigabyte laptop, for example, have weak links, and that company doesn't want those showcased by having them compared to another one. That's just a fact, okay? Whether you like that or not, that is some of the nitty-gritty truth of how this all works. So as respect to them, I review the laptop for what it is. If you like it, great. I reviewed this laptop for what it is. If you like it, great. All the information is there. You just have to watch 2 videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not really a big deal.
But that goes to actually one thing I was thinking of. I do a video, and then of course the rest get buried in the list of videos, and I don't think not many people go through the previous videos you've done to see what you have done, you have covered. Is there anything we can do as content producers to make that easier for people? I know you got those little windows at the end of each video, but I don't know if people...
And there's a playlist, Check the playlist. It's very organized. I've got Gigabyte, I've got Asus, I've got Dell, I've got Alienware. They are all boom, boom, boom. Check it out.
I probably should make my playlists better than that. I just have, laptops, and most of them are laptops. I don't want the same playlist.
Everything I have is organized by manufacturer, and then I have... what was the other thing? Some of the peripherals, that's in its own playlist. It's all there.
Yeah. Now, one thing, Bobby, I've got a subscriber link in the bottom of my text. I did that ages ago, and it didn't seem to help, but I noticed Jared has that. So I've started doing it again. Perhaps that's something you should do. One good thing is if you do a short link, if you shorten it down, to is it bitty or whatever, tiny URL, they can keep track of how many people click on it, and I've had 14 or 15 clicks since 2 days ago. So basically, what that does is they click on it, and it says, "Would you like to subscribe to this person?" And they go, "No." But if they click on it and they go, "Yes," it tells you how many have clicked, and I think that's useful. Might gain a few extra subs. That's just an idea out there for anybody who's starting new.
Nice.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time, Bob, for giving up some of your Saturday. I appreciate it. And
yeah, man. It's always fun.
Thank you to all your viewers again for taking the time. I know you're busy. All right. Bye.
See you guys.